This is a Southern Sin. Breaking news special. Be sure to like and subscribe now.
Based on the information we now have, Nick REINER is not going to plead guilty to these murders. He is going to plead not guilty by reason of insanity, and here's why. We have learned that Nick REINER was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was under the care of a psychiatrist and receiving meds. His behavior in the month before the murders, and this is a quote from sources with direct knowledge, was erratic and dangerous. He went to an LA rehab facility in the time before the murders. He had been to a number, but in particular, this one, it specializes in treating mental illness. It's really expensive. It costs $70,000 a month. Lots of rich, powerful parents send their kids to this facility who have mental illness, and Nick was there. In 3 to 4 weeks, and this is so important, in the 3 to 4 weeks leading up to the murders, Nick's medications were changed. And they were changed because he was exhibiting more and more erratic and dangerous behavior. But when they were changed, they weren't right. And it was making him, as one source put it, crazy. And the doctors were trying to adjust the meds, but it wasn't working. And it was getting more and more erratic. In addition to that, Nick was abusing substances, and we're told substance abuse worsened the schizophrenia. So all of this paints a picture of someone, and words were used to us by one of these sources with direct knowledge, that he was, quote, out of his head at the time of the murders. So based on everything I know, this is not going to be a case where they contest that Nick did it. I think they're going to concede it. I don't know that for a fact, but all of the dots that we now have to connect lead us to this is not going to be a not guilty plea, I didn't do it. This is going to be, at least at this point, based on everything we know, without saying more sources, if I were a betting man, I would say this is a not guilty by reason of insanity. To prove that, you have to show that there is a mental disease, which there is here. You have to show as a result of that mental disease, the person did not understand the nature and quality of their act, or that it was legally or morally wrong. So that's going to be the big issue in this case, I think. Was this legally or morally wrong? Look, it has worked before. It worked with John Hinckley. And as a matter of fact, John Hinckley spent years in a mental institution and released when doctors said he was okay. So it is very different from somebody going to prison for a crime. Nick, I don't believe is going to dispute this. I mean, everything we're seeing, I don't think that's going to happen. But is feeling like a real case of where he will plead, at least, not guilty by reason of insanity. That doesn't mean that the jury's going to automatically buy it. But I just told you what the elements are. And if you want to talk about a mental disease, we're told he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And then the question is, did he understand the nature of what he was doing? Based on our sources, there will at least be people testifying that he really didn't understand anything. He was just zoned out of his head. It does kind of also explain his behavior at the Conan O'Brien Christmas party, where, you know, everything we're hearing is that he was just in another world and he was acting strangely, as we reported, got in a big argument with his dad. And this is hours before the murders occurred. But he was erratic, not just that night, but many days before that. So to be determined. Right now, clearly both the defense and the police are working to investigate the circumstances surrounding the murders. and that involves, the murder weapon. It involves mixed conduct and all. But this increasingly is feeling like a case where the defense will argue not guilty by reason of insanity.
True crime just got darker. Catch the full episode on the link above. Subscribe to At Southern Sin today and hit the notification bell for more live original episodes Wednesdays at 8 p.m.